All right, YouTube, we're live. We are live. Once you guys get in here, start commenting. That way we know. We've got the charts pulled up on both MetaTrader and TradingView. We're trading this prop account on MetaTrader. It is the $50,000 prop account, and we are going to be trying to pass the audition. It is a one-step and two-step, so two phases total, and we are going to take our time. But in the meantime, where was I on this? In the meantime, let's declare some scripture, declare the word of God over our lives. All right, yeah, this is a good one. It's based on Job 10, verse 12. It says, "You have granted me life and favor, and your providence has preserved my spirit. You have granted me life and favor, and your providence has preserved my spirit." Guys, when we really do truly remember that He's always taking care of us and always watching over us, the moments that we can really not just remember it but believe it, it just makes life so much easier. 100%. Good morning, Luca. How's your day going today? Nice, nice. So, I was thinking about the prop account, and we were trading, it was like we had on our trading rules to trade like 20 leverage on just Euro US dollar. I was like, you know what, if we're taking our time and we're trying to be more mechanical, I was like, let me just lower the risk significantly. Let me risk like 0.5% per trade, and then let me just take more setups because I still truly believe in the concept where it's like Euro US dollar might not provide trades, good trades all the time, but then, you know, AUD USD might for that period or another pair. And like I want to show you too. So we're only trading one trade per pair because like the idea is to take the first fair value gap. It's time and price delivery, right? That forms at this time. You can see yesterday just absolutely nothing formed for Euro US dollar. Same thing the day before, we had nothing formed for Euro US dollar. And so it's like, okay, we're sitting and being patient, but the truth is if this pair is just not trading that well, we don't when the trades do come around, we don't even want to be trading that heavy. So if we take our total risk for the day, which was like 2 or 3%, and then we just split that up into like all the pairs. So like let's say it's 3%, and now we got 5 pairs risking 0.5%. Now we're like risking 2.5% for the day, but it's diversified. It's a much better option. Hey Joshua. So like this is before the trading hours start, I'm gonna show you guys like yesterday's example. Like instead of risking 2 or 3% on one trade, what I'm gonna do for this prop account to really get the discipline back too, and this isn't something I've ever done, or I haven't done recently, and is risk smaller amounts and diversify. So like let's say AUD USD yesterday, we would have hit 0.5% on this trade, right? New Zealand US dollar. I already looked back. That's why I know where the trades are at. New Zealand US dollar would have hit 0.5% on this trade. US CAD, we would have shorted like around here. Would have hit 0.5% on this trade. And same thing with US franc. Right at the open there, kind of, we would have hit 0.5%. So it's like, all right, instead of risking, the whole thing in one go, we split it up. We would have made like 2%. There would have been no trade on euro. You know what I mean? And that way too, we don't get married to any single pair. It's like, okay, if we're risking 0.5% a trade, it's like, all right, if one loses, if another loses, it's like, even if three lose, we just lost 1.5%. It's like not the end of the world. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about, and that's what I'm gonna try to do with this prop challenge. The truth is, we had it very dialed in with the supply and demand lines. And the thing is, fair value gaps and supply and demand lines both work. I am trying to make the adjustment to fair value gaps, and it is working, but I just don't have it dialed in yet. So I think a big problem for me lately has been just going too heavy on an individual position, and I've been getting like quote unquote married to the position. So if it like if it doesn't work out, I feel it. So um, I don't know, just some thoughts. We're gonna try that. You could layer as well. Yeah, you do. That's a good point. That's a good point to layer into the positions. Um, I'm interested in doing that. I'm just gonna do it maybe, in a couple weeks from now. I'm trying to make this as mechanical as possible. So, if you guys, I don't know if you saw you do, but I got a little out of hand with my my trading rules. Um, and I honestly didn't even think of showing this to you guys. When it came to the trading log, I just was like, I just put it all in the Notion journal, if you guys saw, um, down here. But then someone commented on the YouTube channel. They're like, man, you just put numbers in a Notion journal and didn't stream those few days, and you just you just blew the account, and now you're switching to a prop account. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even I didn't even think it could be perceived that way. But I understand. So I put it in here in the Telegram for that person, to be able to see and line up, the trade times, the positions I entered. If you guys look at this, I definitely was profitable, but I definitely over traded. So I'm bringing this back full circle, you do, is since I over traded, I really was in a season of just, not having as much discipline as I'm used to. And so we're going back to just a mechanical system. So we're going to do one trade per day per pair. So, 5 trades max, but we're only risking 5 leverage per trade, 2.5 lots per trade. We're going for a set 10 pip take profit, 10 pip stop loss. And we're just getting in, like we talked about yesterday, Luca, at the formation of the 5-minute fair value gap. So, pretty much just looking for price to turn at these points, right? Price usually pushes up or down into an area at 10 a.m. and then we're kind of just looking for it to turn. So, oh yeah, you do. So the way Forex.com does it is it's like when you see. Let me pause it. So when you see like right here, US dollar Swiss franc sell, that's me entering the position, and when you see buy, that is me getting out of the position. So that's like when you sell it, to get out of a sell position, you have to buy it. Technically, like when you close the trade, it's considered buying it, right? You just buy it back. And so that's how the trade closes. So that's why you see right here at 10:15 a.m. we entered US dollar Swiss franc sells, and then we got out over 2 hours later and close the trade. So yeah. The first time I saw it on the app, I was like, "What?" It's kind of confusing, but and that's why you see too, like, the commission is like split up. It takes out, $7 when you get in and $7 when you get out. Hey Donna, hey Sapphire. Um, You know what? Now we could honestly add gold to the roster since we're since we're trading a prop account. But let's keep up with what we're doing for the time being. I have not tested what I'm doing with gold. I just haven't. Honestly, I like shorts better on AUD US dollar. But the most recent break was down there. So if we're going by our rules, which that is not it. Let me see the high here. So the high matched, and then it came lower. Now it came above. So I'm sticking to my mechanical rules for right now. Like, and this is why we're gonna diversify and split up our positions, right? So it's not we're not marrying any single position, and we're just looking for something very specific. The way price is breaking out of this range. So I'm gonna highlight which direction I'm looking for a fair value gap to form on each pair. You guys see, and it's obvious that some of them are inversely correlated. Well, with that being said, that's why we're diversifying. But at the same time, too, currencies don't always correlate. Just because the US dollar is on one side of a currency and on one side of another, it does not mean they have to correlate. That is something I've learned the hard way. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never used Vantage. But if you guys weren't here in the beginning of the video, basically what we're doing is we're looking at these 5 pairs. We've got a pretty specific set of rules that I've tested over the last year on how to enter around 10 a.m. And we're basically just looking for set 1-to-1s right now. Set 1-to-1s, 10 pip stop, 10 pip take profit. We're trading a prop account. Guys, we're not going to stay like this forever, right? I'm trying to just lower my risk for a season. You know, we paid $240 for the prop account. We're gonna, mechanical trading does work, right? But what it does more so than, I honestly think discretionary trading, you can get 10 times the results. But when it comes to mechanical trading, it's also not just a way to trade, but it's a practice to get better discipline. And so that's what we're gonna do for a season. That's what we're gonna do. Let's make sure nothing's forming here in 2 minutes. So, buys here. We don't, clearly not. Any sells here. Any sells here. Yeah, exactly. I think I said this on the stream yesterday, Luca. I think it's the best, mechanical trading is the best way to take a break from trading, right? You're still in the markets, you're still watching them, you still have potential to make some money, uh, but it's a good mental break, right? Because now I'm not showing up and I don't have to decide anything. It's purely following a set of rules. So it's 100%, like you just said, it's a great way to get your confidence back from time to time. The truth though is too, Luca, I'm kind of swinging over onto your side on team prop firms for right now, because I'm honestly like, because have our thoughts, we all have our thoughts and beliefs about the charts, even outside of the markets. So when we're not trading, we're thinking about, hopefully not all the time thinking about, but like different ways to navigate the markets, what we believe about the markets, how we believe is the best way to move forward to capitalize on the market's opportunity it's providing. And honestly, the more I've been thinking about it, the more I'm convinced that I need to stop going for higher returns on my cash account and just go for smaller returns on a bigger prop account. Like, you don't know how long prop firms will be around, or at least they'll be around the way they are because of regulations that might step in, all around the world from different countries. But the opportunity they have right now is pretty good, and it's like if it's around for 5 more years and we can make our first $100,000 trading off of prop accounts, then we should do it. You know what I mean? And then at that point, it's like, okay, let's maybe go back to our cash account or whatnot. But yeah, the opportunity is amazing, and if we, I don't know if any of you guys get like this, but like you can get in the thought process where it's like, okay, I don't, want to, like, if the regulations step in, like I'm talking strictly from America. So in the US, trading is much more like regulated and cracked down on than it is anywhere else. Like, I can't, as a retail trader that I'm aware of, legally leverage gold. I can't legally trade CFDs unless I'm trading through a prop firm. And so it's like, will they let that go on forever? I don't know, but it's like they are right now. So it's like I can't let the fact that it might not last forever stop me from taking advantage of the opportunity. I feel like I've been doing that for a long time. Yeah, exactly, Luca. Exactly. Like back in the day, okay, we need to watch Euro USD a little closely. We've got 3 minutes. But back in the day, if you wanted a $50,000 prop account and you wanted a seat, and let's say they gave you, 10% drawdown, you would have to pay that difference. You would have to pay like the $5,000 to take that seat. And now we just have the opportunity. We don't even have to go in anywhere, and we can do it from home for $240. It's pretty crazy when you look at where things were and where they are now. So Euro's not gonna form anything. Might be pushing higher. I love fair value gaps too, guys, because they're so easy to spot and they just make sense to me. They just make sense. The thing is, though, you just have to decide and have a method for, like, okay, which direction are you going to get in? And the truth is, you're never going to be perfect, right? You can have, so like the way I've decided to pick direction, um, it might work for a couple pairs today. It might not work for another couple pairs. You know what I mean? But then tomorrow it might work for all of them, and the next day it might not work for all of them. When you really like, the hardest thing about trading is accepting that you can't just have it all figured out. It's so difficult to come to terms with that. Like it's so easy to say, but when it comes to the actual concept that it's all just probabilities and you can only have a slight edge and that edge is never going to be like you can never perfect it, right? It's you're still going to lose no matter what. That's like the hardest thing to to come to terms with. Um I don't know. So it's a constant cycle of remembering and forgetting too. You remember for a season that it's all probabilities, and then you forget for a season, and then you come back to it after trying to force the markets to go your way for a few weeks. You know what I mean? That's what happened to me on Monday. That's what happened to me on Monday with this trade. You guys saw right here we were up like $1,400 in 5 trading days, and Monday I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt invincible. I kind of felt invincible, and then the market just took back 300 and pretty quick, and it was really stressful. And that's when I pulled. I was like, let me stop on my head. The good feelings, and this is something I had to learn too. The good feelings in trading are just as dangerous as the bad feelings. All right, so we've got potential for U.S. dollar Swiss franc buys. Um, Yeah, I mean, definitely. Prices definitely swept lower. On this next candle close, US CAD, nothing yet. New Zealand US dollar, it just closed the potential there. You guys can see um, it was starting to move to the downside, but we didn't want that to form. Guys, we might only get one trade a day too, and that's okay. Let's leave this. Oh, now it just closed the potential. Oh no, that would have been a buy anyway. All right, guys. So the only thing that we've really got on our radar right now is U.S. dollar Swiss franc. There's nothing else that could set up in this candle close. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have U.S. dollar Swiss franc here. When a lot of things are setting up, I'm gonna execute straight off my phone because I'm much faster on my phone. But for the time being, if there's like only a U.S. dollar Swiss franc about to set up, like if this forms a fair value gap right here, we're gonna buy, and we're gonna go for at least 10 pips, and then we're done with U.S. dollar Swiss franc for the day. We're not touching it again. Stop loss or take profits getting hit, and that's gonna be it. Luca, have you placed any trades on your account today? Are you trading London still? Yeah, London. Nice. I wish. What time is it? In your time when London starts again? Oh man, break a structure and change a character are my favorite. 9 a.m. Oh, man, I wish 9 a.m. London was London open for me. It's 3 a.m. where I'm at. It's 3 a.m. over here. Um, I've traded it a few times, but honestly, it's not healthy for me. Like some people just thrive off of no sleep, but not me. I need like the full nine, the full 9 hours. Um, all right, as long as price closes above here, we're gonna get in. Luca, you and I need to break down some higher time frames someday because I've got such a good smart money concept, break of structure, change of character. I'm very good at it on the 4 hour chart. Like I used to swing trade the 4 hour chart, um, and I like it. I honestly like day trading more though. I like being in and out and done for the day. It's hard for me, psychologically to hold the trades overnight. Stuff happens in the middle of the night. You're not there for it. Um, but I mean, the 4 hour time frame with those concepts, the break of structures, the change of characters, it's extremely accurate. And I mean, I love catching the 70 pip, 80 pip moves doing it sometimes. Oh, nice. Yeah, Luca, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Try. So there's if you use the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 15 minute, it's all like fractal. So like there's four 1 hour candles in the 4 hour, and then there's four 15 minute candles in the 1 hour. Those three time frames are like golden because it's fractal. It's completely like it's just four within each candle, and it keeps breaking down. That is the best time frames to do top down analysis with, in my opinion, because of it being so equal like that. Like four within the 4 hour and then four within the 1 hour. The only thing that's harder, in my opinion, we're about to get in US dollar Swiss franc right here for buys. The only thing that's harder, in my opinion. Oh, wait, I can't see when this candle closes on here. We're just going to have to wait for it to. I know how to make it so that I can see the time. I'm just going to have to wait. Alright, we are in our position. Let's do this. Drag on our stops. Okay. It'll be going to clear buy side liquidity. Let me make sure that dragged on right. Okay. Yeah, and then we barely used any margin. Our equity's 49,000 and we use or balance is 50,000 and we've got 47,000 in free margin. Yeah, we're trading so small. Okay, cool. Um so we're done with US franc for the day. Let's add a can we add a I forget how to do it. That's not it. There's a way to add a section. Okay, here we go. Just put that as section 1, and then we'll add a section 2. So now US franc is down here. We'll just make it purple. Alright, so let's see if we have anything setting up. Nothing setting up on AUD USD. Nothing there. Nothing there. Because it got closed. And Euro got closed as well. So let's do this. You guys can see everything here too, right? Where did we get in? 85.42.2. So let's do that. 85.42.2. And then we're just gonna make it a buy signal right there. That's it. Didn't get triggered because of the spread. Cool. So now we've got this drawn on. We can take off everything else. We'll leave that on. Okay. and just let that play out. U.S. franc is going to be probably our heaviest position because of the pips. So pip value is something that a lot of people don't learn. It's actually super important to learn. But like AUD, USD, so Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, pound dollar, and euro dollar all have the same pip value. It's all $10 per lot, per pip. But like US dollar, Swiss franc, it's like $11 or something like higher. And then US dollar CAD and US dollar yen are like $7, like much cheaper. Much cheaper. You guys see though, this is a perfect example of like how the pairs, even though the US dollar is on the same side of these pairs, they don't correlate all the time. They do sometimes, don't get me wrong, but US CAD and US franc, if they correlated perfectly, should both be going up or down right now. But US CAD's dropping and US franc's rising. So it's super important to not get caught in currency correlations, because just because the US dollar is strong right now, US or Swiss franc and the Canadian dollar can be on opposite ends of the spectrum right now, and they clearly are. So the US dollar is not different on each of these pairs, but CAD and franc are very different right now. CAD's a lot stronger and franc's a lot weaker. But yeah, we've got our first prop account trade sent out in quite some time now. Nothing to see on any of these other pairs, but AUD and maybe US CAD could be setting up for something soon. And the reason we'd be looking for buys on AUD US dollar is because it did sweep higher, but it swept the bottom of our range lower actually last. So at 10 a.m. I'm looking for the most recent sweep. You guys can see that most recent sweeps right here. And just like any other set of rules, it's not, I really don't believe my rules are perfect, but I believe they can be profitable. Like, I don't believe I'm going to be directionally right all the time, but I believe it's going to be good enough, right? Essentially with these 1-to-1s, we're flipping a coin, and if we could flip the coin and get the odds in our favor though, I mean, that's all we need. We just need to win 6 out of 10 times. Yeah, if we could get 6 out of 10 wins, and then we can keep our risks like this small enough to let the numbers play out, there's no reason in the next 4 to 8 weeks we can't be funded 50K. We're just gonna let that ride. I'm not gonna try to pay attention to it now at this point, because coming from discretionary trading, you just want to get involved in the trade. But that's not what we're doing right now. Let me see what the max I could lose in a day is though. Let me drag this over first. Let me see. So the max we can lose in a day is 2,500, and we're risking about 250 per position. So we're risking maybe half of that. We're risking like 2.5% a day. And if our total drawdown, we would have to lose 20 trades in a row to blow the account. And of course, we're never going to hit the daily loss limit ever based on our rules. So we just need to follow those. But if we were to lose this account, we would have to lose 20 trades straight. And our drawdown is fixed. So that means every trade we win is going to make that greater. So like if we win a trade, then we have to lose 21 trades. Potential here on US CAD. We'll see if this closes right here. If it doesn't, we'll get in. New Zealand US dollar for sells, nothing. AUD US dollar for buys. Euro US dollar for sells, nothing. So AUD and US CAD are what we want to pay attention to right now. We got 3 minutes, and we're gonna try to get in both these pairs really quick. If they set up. If they set up. Hey Harsh. Yeah, it's a form of ICT. It's technically silver bullet, but a little bit different. Um, you have to kind of decide how you're gonna draw on your liquidity. And we're not necessarily getting in at like retest or holds of a fair value gap. We're getting in on the formation of. So the silver bullet is a concept based on time and price. It's still discretionary, but the idea is that at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the market is going to have pushed heavy in one direction, and it's going to have cleared, some recent like highs, or in other words, area of liquidity. When it does this, you're going to basically look for price to displace, creating a fair value gap, which you can see is the gap between these two candles. And then basically that means that price has now shifted its momentum and direction and has the potential to go the other way. So that's it in a short story. Look up Casper SMC. He's got many different videos breaking it down. And he does a very good job at it. He's more of a teacher. I'm just more of someone getting on here and placing trades from the hip. Yeah, no problem. So both of these trades could set up for us. Like we said, New Zealand, US dollar, it's setting up for buys, but we're not looking for buys on this pair because we didn't even get a sweep of our 6 to 730 zone. So not interested. Let me just take off these. Right. Oh no, we need to keep that on because we need to know which direction. We've got 43 seconds. It looks, guys, like both of these are going to set up. So AUD US dollar buys, and so I'm going to have one ready on the phone and one ready on the computer. That's what I'm going to do. We got 30 seconds. US CAD shorts I'll have ready on the phone, and then AUD US dollar buys on the computer. We'll get that ready. How many seconds do we have? You know what? I need to get the time over here. There we go. So we're buying and selling. Alright, buy and sell. So you guys can see I did one on my phone. It added the positions here. I'm going to put the stop losses on my phone. 35.93.4. You know what though? Let me make sure that gave us 10 pips. Yeah, that's not right. Okay. It's probably easier to click and drag them. Guys, we are loaded up. But the thing is, we're only risking like 1.5% right now. And now we're diversified, and it's like maybe one hits, maybe one misses, but two hit. Who knows? Either way, we're pretty split up now. Let me make sure these stops are all 10 pips. So 10. The last thing I want to do is have the wrong things drawn on. That would mess us up. Let's just check our bases. I know we already checked this pair. Alright, now we're not married to any one position. That's for sure. Now we're just gonna focus on these other pairs. See if they give us any setups for the day. But we're looking for sells on both of them. Oh, let's draw on, you know what I'll do too, because we drew on the US franc trade. Let me draw on the other trades, that way we can kind of monitor them as well. US CAD, where'd we get in? This is honestly a really good US CAD short in my opinion, but I just like it. I like the way it looks. I think every time I've said I like the way it looks, it's been a losing trade. 35, 93, 4. And then we just had 100. Okay. This is our US CAD trade. And now let's go to AUD US dollar, which is a buy at 8. Okay. Yeah, every time I say a trade looks it looks good. All right, guys. So AUD US dollar, this is about where we're at right now. US dollar CAD, looking for price to go short. The reason it doesn't look like it hit is because spread. And US dollar Swiss franc, we pushed a nice bit into profit. We're going to see if it can't continue higher, though. It did form another fair value gap, and it's reacting off it right now. Let's pay attention to the other pairs, though. We'll see how this works, Luca. I'm really curious to see how this works over the course of, like, the next 2 weeks. I feel like after 2 weeks, we'll have a really good, or maybe by the end of next week, we'll be able to tell, all right, what we're trying to do working out. We're down about $100, but the thing is, we're only risking just over 1% on this trade, about 1.5%. Right? No, it might be if it's 250 a position. Yeah, we're about risking 1.5% on all 3 trades right now. Is about our total risk. None of these are setting up right now, and it doesn't look like they're going to set up on the next candle, so we've got time. Yeah, it is. It's also a bit like I'm trying to think of the word. It's like a bit hectic because you gotta put all these numbers in and stuff like that. But it's kind of fun too. I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind trading like this. We'll see though. It could go very well. We're essentially flipping coins at very low risk, and we have an edge to get the coin to flip in our favor more often than not. The question is our risk low enough for it to play out for us? I think it is. If we need to lose 20 trades before we blow the account, like I really do think we're playing it safe. And I'm committed to, if we can get funded 50K in 2 months from now, that's huge, right? So there's no rush. I want to show you guys this US CAD right here. So US CAD, guys, you can see how, yeah, we're only risking $183 to make 183, and we're trading the same position size as these other pairs. AUD USD is going to be the only one that's like accurate with it, and it's $250 risk, right? That's the set 0.5%. US CAD's going to be a little lower at 183, and then US dollar Swiss franc's going to be a little higher at 292. So US CAD and US franc are going to balance each other out, but all the other pairs, Euro, AUD USD, and New Zealand US dollar, are going to be a set 250. So the other pairs will balance each other out though. Euro US dollar is consolidating at the top here. New Zealand US dollar is not necessarily consolidating as much. We could probably see more potential for New Zealand US dollar to make a cleaner move for us, and that's the same thing. That's honestly another reason I wanted to open up this account and strategy to more pairs, is because look at the nice price moves, right? We've got a nice clean move up, a nice pullback, a nice push down, and then just nice, like, it's just nice price action, right? But now we've got on like Euro US dollar the past few days, like look at what's going on. It's like just being erratic. Like I don't know what's wrong with it. Like this pair, honestly, in my opinion, should just like be making the cleaner moves, should be making more like consistent pushes and consistent, price action. But the thing is, it's like, it's just not. And so, Euro US dollar might be like this for a season. We might not even get another trade today. And then New Zealand US dollar might be like this for a season and 2 weeks from now. So this does not only does it diversify our risk between multiple positions, but it diversifies our risk when a pair is actually in a rut. when a pair is just not acting, in a consistent way to trade profitably. So I think it really could help. Hey Lemon, hey, it's good to see you in here. It's good to see you. Lemon, I don't know how much of this stream you've been in, but we are on a prop account right now, 50K. Today, we've been sitting on our hands the last 2 days, but today's the first day. We are placing trades, and we are in 3 positions right now. We're risking about 0.5% per trade. And so 2.5% total for the day is what we're risking, but split up between 5 positions. And we're not necessarily always risking that 2.5% because we might not get setups for these other pairs today, meaning our risk for the day is only 1.5%. The thing about this model is it's seemingly sustainable. So, I try to look at things from all angles, and everything I see right now is showing me that this model is sustainable, long term, right? And that's sustainability is super important when you're looking at your trading plan, and it's not just sustainability when it comes to the risk, but sustainability when it comes to your ability to keep trading it, right? There's a psychological sustainability too. Thanks, Lemon. Thanks. We're trying to get dialed in with the fair value gaps. We're trying to diversify, split things up. This is another thing too. I didn't say this in the beginning. On another reason we're splitting things up. I've never found the right way to do it. Hopefully this is the right way to do it. But there is a scripture too that says in Ecclesiastes, like, divide your. I'm gonna butcher it right now because I don't know it, so forgive me. But I'm not even going to try to quote it. I'm just going to say, like, basically what it talks about is split your investments up into 7 different, basically 7 different assets. So because you don't know what's going to happen on any given day with any single one. And so if we take that in trading, I mean, splitting your risk up between multiple different assets could be kind of similar. It's a spiritual concept about the uncertainty and probabilities and diversification above all else. So I don't know, we've been trading really heavy on individual positions for a while. Whether it was sustainable when it came to the actual account, I don't know. We could have kept going and could have kept doing well, but I will tell you this: it was not sustainable emotionally or psychologically. I wasn't able to carry on like that. I just wasn't. All right, nothing setting up here, guys. Let's take a look at what we're in already. AUD US dollar and a little bit of drawdown. US CAD is in some drawdown too. It has respected this fair value gap. It hasn't broken above this line yet, or it doesn't matter if it breaks above it. It honestly matters if it closes above it, in my opinion. That's how I read them. So US CAD still very well could drop. And US dollar Swiss franc, it's making reactions off of this fair value gap as well to the upside. I'm sorry for drawing on lines. I'm kind of being lazy. This is what I'm talking about though, and I'll draw it on here too. I'll draw them on. That way I'm not being completely lazy. And then the one, I mean, it's formed 3 in a row right here now. Like, US dollar Swiss franc is extremely bullish if we're talking strictly about the way price is flowing right now. US franc is also going to be the best one we want to hit because it's the most expensive. And then AUD USD. We were looking for buys, prices displacing higher. After coming down here and giving us that little tweezer bottom. We talked about it yesterday. We don't trade those, but they keep popping up. Dono, it's good to see you. I didn't even think about. I didn't even see the first message you sent about the documentary. I watched the whole thing. Where is it? I have one. I showed the stream yesterday. I was telling the stream I was looking for you. I got a New King James Version Bible as well. I've been reading it. When you said that too about like the the once saved always saved. It's a lot clearer in this version, and it doesn't seem to contradict. I'm telling you, it's like a whole new world opened up to me as I've been reading it again. Oh no, I'm super grateful for you. Like, I can't tell you how grateful I am for you. And I've been doing the let me show you. You guys know how I've been doing the videos lately for the Forex spiritual journey. I've been, using the King James version and that as well. And I'm just super happy about it. Like, that documentary, I mean, I've heard that there's been differences, but I never like really took the time to research it and to understand like what they were and how significant they were. And I mean, like, it's crazy. Yeah, no, you never can. That's something I kind of came convicted of on my own, just through my relationship with God and the things that He's revealed to me, and the conviction that He's given me in my heart. But then reading the King James, it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's kind of like reading it all over again for the first time. Because when I read the whole Bible, it was reading. I read the ESV. I read the whole New Testament. The very first time I read the whole New Testament, it was in the NLT. And the NLT is a thought for thought. It's not even a word for word. And so it's like hearing in that documentary too how it came together and the resources and the people that were like involved in creating that translation and them taking 7 years. First and foremost was like, it was really good to hear how it was created, how it came about, how it came from those other translations, the original English translations, and how it was kind of like the like, I guess that they kind of like put it all together in the King James and kind of like, made it what it needed to be. But the words that they change, I mean, it talks about how, like, in 1 Timothy 3:16, like, how, like, I didn't realize how many slight word changes there were that question the deity of Christ. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to gather my words because I'm excited about it. But there's so many word changes in these other translations that really make people question the deity of Christ. I never noticed it like that. Not only question the deity of Christ, but question their own salvation, question the security of their salvation. Like, all these other translations are saying to those who are being saved. In the King James, in the original text, it actually says, and I'm not saying the King James is the original text, I'm saying the King James, which pulled from the original text, it says to those who are saved. And so, like, it's just like super important theological implications that these other translations are just slightly changing. Things that I've struggled with personally for quite some time because of reading them and not even knowing what was happening. And I've never, studied Greek or Hebrew, so I don't, I don't know those, like, I can't just go to the original text and pull those words. Like, I've looked up a word here and there, but not the whole Bible, you know what I mean? So it's hard not knowing the history of the translations, because then you don't know what to, like, which one to read or which one to really use for a reference. All right, I'm done with my little rant, but when I saw you pop up and ask about the documentary, I had to say it. We've got 4 minutes. Let me find it really quick. It's this one, isn't it? The 18-minute one right here. Here, let me know when you see it. This is 18 minutes. Is this it? This is it? Okay, I'm saving it to my personal list. Cool. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, I listened to the whole thing the other day. Um, and it was great. It was absolutely great. Okay, I'm going to mark up these here really quick. We don't need price to touch these lines if we're going to short. Right? New Zealand US dollar is getting there. It's getting there. Euro might be the better trade. Oh, guys, it looks like we lost a trade. We lost US CAD, it looks like. Yeah, US CAD tapped us out. Okay, let's get ready for these next trade setups. Euro might be the first and best trade we see. Want to keep a close eye on New Zealand US dollar just because it's getting close to invalidating itself. Looks like we'll be fine with Euro to take shorts. See, this is good though. We lost the trade and we honestly didn't feel any stress from it because it was such low risk. All right, New Zealand US dollar is not getting entered. Euro potentially will be. We'll have it ready. How much time do we have? Oh, we don't need to be looking at that right now. We just need to be looking here. Euro US dollar. As long as it doesn't touch there in the next 40 seconds, we're good to short. Here, 1 second, I'll answer that question. I just want to make sure this doesn't touch this line. If it does, there's no trade. About to have the smallest fair value gap ever. I'm kidding. We don't have a setup. Okay, so let's go. While we're just waiting, it doesn't look like these are reversing. Let's just kind of hang out here with our trades. So the amount that I think it would be good to start trading with, I think it's important to start on a cash account. I do, and I think it's because it's a lot more personal. You've got time and you're not really worried about all these rules. It lets you kind of figure out what trading's really like. So I mean, you have two options to start on a personal or a prop account. I would say whatever you can afford to lose, that's not like too little where it doesn't mean anything, but like anything that's like meaningful that you can afford to lose. So if you've got like $100 or $200 where you can afford to lose it, but it might hurt a little bit if you did, that's like what you need to trade with. I don't think you can. I don't think you can make a paper trade account personal. I don't know. That's my opinion. It might be different for other people in the chat. If it is, you guys comment, let them know. But my experience is paper trading and trading on a cash account, or even trading on a cash account and a prop account, you have to follow different rules and trade a little bit differently when it comes to the risk side and how often you trade and whatnot. But they're the same thing when it comes to the psychological aspect. The same exact thing. You have skin in the game, and there's something to lose and there's something to gain. When it comes to the paper account, I've never felt like it's had that, and I feel like it's like a completely different game. It's like playing poker for free and then playing poker for money. You're gonna place different bets. You know what I mean? You're not gonna go all in on hands that you might have gone all in on before. And I think that more so than the skill part of trading, which can be developed on a paper account, you need to develop the emotional part of trading. It's not even psychology. people think like they focus so much on psychology. It's really the emotional aspect. I mean, which psychology involves emotions, but like psychology will tell you like where those emotions are coming from and whatnot. But like if you get so caught up on where the emotions are coming from and you know like how to do, like you try to like you basically are going to try to get rid of them, and you can't do that. You can't get rid of the emotions. That's one thing that I learned that helped me. And you just have to learn how to navigate them, right? They're kind of like warning signs, you know what I mean? Like they pop up when you basically just need to learn how to filter them, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, trade a cash account, trade what you can lose, and then after some time get a prop account. Unless you're in a position where you've got a good amount of capital, like trade a really small cash account and then trade a bigger one if you have a lot of capital, of your own capital. But if not, you probably want to go the same route that like I'm going right now and Luca's going is getting a prop account, trying to build up some capital through payouts, and then ultimately you know, withdrawing to put in our cash account one day. Lemon, let's do it. Me and Luca are gonna get funded together here soon. We're on the journey together, so now we got Lemon in here too. If you guys are in prop accounts, let me know. We gotta have a healthy, accountable competition in which we're trying to build each other up and not beat each other. If we try to race to get funded, we're all gonna crash out. But if we try to go slow and keep each other accountable, we could really do it. AUD US dollar, guys, was looking pretty bad for a minute, and now it's looking a little bit better. US franc was looking good, and now it's looking a little bad. Yeah, yeah, that's only lemon. We're inverting everything. We can take all this off now. We just need the position up there. We don't need to highlight those anything. Dang, US CAD. We can just take everything off US CAD. We lost that trade. Actually, what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna keep on the actual trades. So we'll be able to every single trade that I've taken on this prop account challenge, we'll be able to look back in time. 93.4. Let me make sure that's. I just want to have it on so it looks like it filled. All right, so we're gonna keep all of these on. That way we can look back in time by the end of this prop account and we can see, okay, what went right, what went wrong. Um, so we're gonna leave that US CAD trade up there. We'll delete the technical parts, like the technical analysis we drew on, but we'll leave everything else. And we'll see. We'll be able to get a better picture at the very end of how things played out. Okay, so we've got these two trades rolling still. Nothing yet on these. Yeah, I believe that, Lemon. I believe they do that. They probably do that all at 8:30. 8:30 a.m. Eastern when that red folder news comes out. When you guys see those days where the candle just goes like this with no wick and it goes like above your screen where you can't even see it anymore. That's probably when they do that. If we do get Euro US dollar or New Zealand US dollar trade, it's going to be probably closer to 11. Probably closer to 11. Let me switch over to the MetaTrader. You guys see we're in two more positions here. US franc might get taken out here soon. Guys, lower risk though. I'm gonna be honest with you, is probably the best idea I think I've had in a long time. Because now we're not like, it's just like we lose this trade now, we're only down like 1%, which isn't that bad. You know, US CAD and US franc, two trades, 1%, and then now we, potentially have another trade pushing for us. We could be up, only down 0.5% for the day because we diversified. But if we did what we did in the past, we would have we'd be down 20% right now. AUD guys, if you guys look, can you guys see this? I know like on TradingView um it looks like it didn't even get close to our stop loss, but geez, if you look right here, that just about nearly got hit. It touched it. I guess because the spread, it didn't hit it. It would have needed the red line to hit it, I believe. Or no, I don't know. No, that definitely looks like we should have got taken out of that trade, but it 100% hit our stop loss. And we only needed the bid line to hit it, the sell line. That's weird. Alright, we're still valid. We're still valid here too. We're hitting that very last fair value gap, who knows. Let's go to these. If we look left, not really much liquidity being grabbed. Same thing here, but Euro could short because it closed that gap up here now. That gap needed to be closed, and that candle, vortex candle. Yeah, Euro, honestly, we could get the fair value gap formation to the south side here in the next 10-15 minutes. There's still potential for it for sure. It's getting close to our trading hours being over though. We'll see if Euro might start selling off right here. We'll see though. We want the fair value gap to the downside before we do anything. I think on the very next candle it could start dropping. I've been wrong before though. I've been wrong before. I mean, if you look at where price is at right now, price sold off significantly from over here before. I don't know, price is pretty bullish on Euro US dollar right now. Keep on that candle. Yeah, price could go lower though. Price is, honestly though, this daily candle is still inside the range of yesterday's candle. So, didn't really sweep one way or another on the daily side of things. So maybe it could go higher. It could go higher to yesterday's top of the range. So, looking back at our actual positions now, guys, US dollar Swiss franc is holding strong, holding on for its dear life right now. And then AUD US dollar, doesn't even make sense that we're in this trade, but we are. So hopefully it's on its way to take profit. So yeah, I honestly work longer hours than, I work probably like 10 hours a day. I work in the morning for like 2 or 3 hours before I'm on. Then I stream for like an hour and a half. It's kind of like my lunch break. And then I work for, like 7 hours, sometimes 8 hours after the streams. But working from home, you can work so much longer, right? You can work so much longer because you could get focused. you can put some, like documentary on in the background, a podcast, some music. I listen to lo-fi a lot, honestly. I have to show you guys. This is like something that I just absolutely love while I work. If you guys work from home, putting this on in the background, chill out dear, I'm gonna be honest, I'm absolutely in love with it. You guys have to check it out. It's just lo-fi, but they do a really good job, and I really like their stuff, so I listen to it a lot. Let's go back. Yeah, I work from home. I work from home. I've been working from home for the last, I want to say 3 years. Maybe it might be closer to 4. Like at least 3.5 years, maybe closer to 4. It has its pros and cons though, right? So you probably end up actually like, it depends on the person, but you probably end up working a lot more actually. There's I always say I've run pretty big teams from working from home before, um, and I mean I had like, I think when I was a manager of a customer service team at one point, over a year ago, I had like 8 people I managed that work for me, and like you honestly like, one thing I always told them is you've got like, and when I was hiring people, you have two types of people that work from home. One that's going to get more done than they would in an office, and one that's not going to do anything at all. There's no in between. There's someone that's going to work like crazy, and then there's someone that's not going to do anything. There's no in between when it comes to working from home. And so I personally, I will get so much more done working from home, and I've been able to perform at a high level working from the home office. But if you put me like in an office somewhere, like it's just, I'm not gonna get half as much done. It's just because I work better, in this environment. Let's rock. Check the Telegram. You're the reason I put it in there. The video. This video. You can do the math with the Notion Excel sheet, but I get why you thought that though. I get why you thought that. I just didn't see that perspective at first when I, updated the Notion sheet, but I did want to keep things transparent, so I did share that in the Telegram. I don't know if you're able to see it. All right, Euro US dollar. It's not forming anything. Yeah, not forming anything for us. Same thing with New Zealand US dollar. We'll keep being patient. Our other trades are running profit now, guys. Our other trades are running profit. We're up, floating 121 in equity. We're down about 180 when it comes to our actual balance. Yeah, I mean, look into it. There's so much opportunity working from home online. So much opportunity. It's good too because when you get in your own environment like that, and when you get into a good workflow, um, you can really start to, I guess, build a lot of discipline around your life. When you're going into an office, you can't build as much discipline, right? Because like when you're at home, you can, you know, basically like build a lot more healthy, flow to your work, right? Like I'm able to step outside whenever I want, get sun in my eyes. I'm able to go and grab, just water whenever. I'm able to, hit some push-ups on the ground here. Like you can't just hit push-ups on the ground in the office in the middle of a work day. You know what I mean? Like there's just different things that you could do. Like when I need, to just take a second to, read, a chapter of the Bible or whatever. Like I can just do those things. But at the same time, it's not taking away from my work because, I'm, working so much longer. But you're able to build a lot more disciplines around your life that way. Like one thing I used to do for the longest time is for my lunch break, I would run a mile, right? And so you can't do that in the middle of the office. You don't have a shower at the office, stuff like that. So I would run a mile. It would split up my workday perfectly, right? I'd work for like 4 or 5 hours in the morning, and being on screens all day can be taxing. You go run a mile, you come back, you shower, and you only take 20, 30 minutes, and now you're back to work, and it's like a fresh reset. Yeah, go on, I think it's like Indeed. Go on Indeed. You can apply, you can just, there's so many places online to just send out applications. Look to be like a customer support or like a live chat agent. You could just answer emails, live chats, phone calls. You could look into being like on like a sales team. Um, and they pay just as much, if not more, as in-person jobs. But think about it, even if they pay exactly the same as what you're making somewhere else, you get such an increase when you're working from home because that is the closest thing between closing the gap between you working for someone else and you working for yourself, right? You're still working for someone else, but now you know, you're still at home. And so it's like it kind of closes the gap a little bit. I don't know. I like it. It suits me. It doesn't suit everyone. I know people though that would rather be in the office 7 days a week. Oh, geez. 14 miles a day to work. That's serious. She's probably one of those high performers. Probably performs at a very high level doing stuff like that. We'll wait until like 11:05 to see if we get any formation. Like price could, off like this candle, as long as this candle's part of the fair value gap to the downside, we can have a setup. So in 5 minutes from now, we'll be able to tell. We just would need price to close below. Let's mark this a different color for right now. Price would have to close below this level on each of these pairs for us to even entertain still being in these markets. Um, our other pairs, guys, AUD US dollar is pushing for us. US dollar Swiss franc is still holding on for dear life. It came back to break even and is pushing again. Let's see. Like I was telling Luca in the beginning, we're really gonna have to see, like by the end of next week, by like next Friday, we'll really have a good sample of how this is working. We're not gonna be able to tell in a day. We're not going to be able to even tell by tomorrow, but we're going to be able to tell within like 5 to 10 trading days how well this is working. Really, 10 trading days, 2 weeks at least. So we'll see. Honestly, yeah, we didn't even take a trade yesterday. Man, Lemon, I signed up for not a marathon, but a relay race, and it's supposed to be in October, like October 16th or something. Let me find it. Let me find the date. No, October 19th. It's a Saturday, and it's an 80-mile relay, six-person relay, and I haven't ran more than 4 miles since I signed up for it a month ago. And basically, 80 miles divided by 6 is like 13.3 miles a person. And so we each have to run 2 times that day. The first time we run 7 miles, and the second time we run 6 miles. Being sick and moving and trying to run and get in shape and all of that. In the middle of all of that, I'm gonna be honest, it hasn't happened yet. We've got over a month left to train for this, and I don't know if I'm ready. Um, I don't even know how I got signed up for it. Honestly, I think it was an accident, but we're signed up. I'm gonna let you guys know. You're gonna find out mid October if I made it or not. Hopefully I do. We'll see. We'll see though. We'll see, guys. We'll see. We got 2 minutes here. Let's do this too, just to kind of keep track of our win rate, guys. Let's draw, or not draw on anything. Let's do trade count. And right now we've taken 3 trades, and then we'll just do wins, 0, and then losses. Right now we've got 1, and then we've got 2 open trades. So we're gonna keep count of all of our trades. Yesterday we were only on, we didn't even have a trade, so let's do this. Today's technically day 1 because we're trading, all 5 pairs, and it's our first day even, having trades. So, we'll see. All right, guys. A little bit more potential. The other 2 trades are floating right now. We're up $100 on AU, and we are down about $60 on US dollar franc right now. Of course, we're going to let these trades keep running after the stream. I am going to still end the stream, relatively soon here. However, New Zealand and Euro have potential setups if they close below these levels. As I just said, that price pulls right back up above it. We'll see though. If they close below this level, we're not entering anything. It just means there's potential for a fair value gap to form, but the fair value gap would have to not return to that level as well. So, or the next candle right after, which it's very close. So I don't know if that's going to happen. Today too, guys, I have the blackout blinds coming. They will be here today. They will be installed today, and we will finally have our setting much better for these streams. It's not going to be a bright light background like I'm outside right now. It literally looks like I could be outside with how bright it is in here. You could even see my lamp. My lamp is it's like trying to give off color. So we'll see. We'll have it back to normal tomorrow. Euro US dollar invalidated itself. There's not going to be any type of fair value gap with this last candle here, meaning there's no trades today on Euro US dollar. And then on New Zealand US dollar, it didn't even close below, so there's not going to be any trades. We are in 2 more trades, guys, and it is Australian US dollar, which is pushing nice towards our take profit. And then we are also in US dollar Swiss franc, which is hopefully pushing towards our take profit. We'll see what happens. You guys can see the 2 trades are open here still. Our account, we lost, we only lost US CAD, which was the cheapest pair we're trading. So we only lost $184. And so, yeah, we're going to let these trades play out, guys. But if you guys want to see the exact placement of them right here, this is where they're at. And then US CAD, it did get wicked out. I'm going to leave the charts like this with the actual trades drawn on. That way, by the end of this audition, whether we pass or whether we fail, we're going to be able to go back in time, and we're going to be able to look at all of our trades and see what we did right, what we did wrong. And it's going to be like a visual trading journal. It's super important to be able to see the charts. I'm trading on Meta because this is a prop account right now. So we're actually trading a prop account. If you weren't here for the beginning, basically, I shared it in the Telegram. I overtraded last Thursday, Friday, and Monday. And I didn't live stream. I was sick, and I genuinely was extremely sick. I'm finally feeling much better. But I was pretty sick, and for whatever reason, while I was sick, I decided it would be a good idea to just tear up the markets. And what I did is we made a significant amount of money, and we brought the account to 11,600. And then Monday we just started crashing out. We were still sick. We started crashing out, lost over $300. So the account, Lemon, was at 11,329. And in 32 trading days, we brought it from 9,300 to 11,300. And I was crashing out. I was losing discipline all over the place. I was trading completely discretionary, but like with no rules at all, except for fair value gaps. But I was going super heavy, and it worked. But the thing is, it was reckless. And so I showed everyone here because I was getting comments on YouTube like, you probably blew the account while you were sick, stuff like that. So I showed on here. I was like, listen, these are the trades I took. You can see there's a lot of them. I over traded. You can see I traded extremely heavy too at some points. There's one point where I was trading like 5 lots on a 11K account, and it was dangerous, right? I could have very well blown the account. So I stopped while I was ahead. I withdrew all the money, and I said, you know what, for a season, I need to get my discipline back. We're going to go to a mechanical set of trading rules, and we're going to trade a prop account. We were going to trade $1,000 cash account, but it just didn't make sense. It's like, why not just trade a prop account for $240? Someone said it in the chat, and I was like, that's a good point. So we bought a 50K prop account. We're trading it on MetaTrader. Still doing our charting on TradingView and just executing on MetaTrader. Looks like we might hit TP right here, guys. It's making its way there, but that's what we're doing. The risk is already off the table. We lost $240 for buying it, and now everything here on out is going to be profit as we pass and turn some results, God willing. So we're gonna try to see if these rules work out for us. We're diversifying. The things that we're trying different is we're diversifying between 5 different assets. We're only risking 0.5% every trade, and we're just letting the trades play out 1-to-1 risk to reward. And that's what we're gonna do. But like I said, we'll leave these on the charts. That way we can get a visual trading journal at the end too. And then I'm gonna do a trade count here in our prop account journal, so that way we can see our win rate and our percentage of winning to see just how profitable this can be. So without keeping anyone any longer, thank you guys for all watching. We're going to be back tomorrow. Just super grateful to have you guys on here. I love you all. Thanks Lemon, thanks Joshua, thanks Let's Rock, thanks Luca, thanks Dono. I'm going to watch that documentary today as well. Coding channel. Good to see everyone in here. Super grateful that you guys are, a part of this community, and that we could get on here and trade together and talk together. I love you guys. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Yes, let's end this week on a high note. Let's do it. All right. See you guys.